Welcome to another edition of Darth Vader is Your Father. I'm your host, James Lott Jr. And I want to say thank you so much for this whole year. I started this podcast and you have made it a success. Thank you if you're listening, podcast listeners, hello, watching YouTube, JLJ Media. Thank you so much for tuning in, watching, listening to the show. I love doing it. It's all about, it started out as a thing about Star Wars, about Darth Vader, but it's about Star Wars universe. And I talk about different things. It was born out of the Mandalorian after show, which we have here on JLJ Media. If you listen to that, if you watch season 2, you can listen to and watch that with Ryan Nielsen, my co-host. But the Book of Boba Fett, which started tonight, as I'm recording this, started tonight on December 29th, Disney Plus. I watched it, but I'm going to tell you more about that on that after show. So the Book of Boba Fett after show here on JLJ Media. We did a kind of a trailer episode, but the episode 1 tomorrow, JLJ Media. So make sure you subscribe to my channel. So you can subscribe to Boba Fett after show on any platform, right? I think it's on all of them right now. Apple, Google, Spotify, Apple, all those, iHeartRadio. Go to the Book of Boba Fett after show. Make sure it's JLJ Media, and that's me. And then on YouTube, with Boba Fett after show. So thank you for that. And folks out there who, I know you have a lot of choices, but I'm seeing that many of you guys are coming to me on some level. So make those rounds, come to me. The content's still here. See what our opinions are, see what my opinion is, and add that to your list of stuff. So thank you so much. But again, thanks for making the show a success for us here. I love all things Star Wars, so I'm happy to do that. Now, Boba Fett itself, on this, you wonder what it's on this one, just the character itself a little bit and what we kind of were expecting. Then you watch the after show tomorrow and hear what we think. I liked it, first of all. I liked the chapter 1 of the book Boba Fett. But Boba Fett, okay, so here's what's funny thing about him. He's become this iconic, legendary character. When you think about it, he's had only short appearances. Now, I took me a second to really realize that the Book of Boba Fett is actually a Mandalorian spinoff, because Fennec was on there first, and now she's on this, and that's where Boba shows up on the Mandalorian. Like, that's right. I guess it's a Star Wars spinoff, and it's a Mandalorian spinoff of a spinoff. So that's something I didn't think about. I never really thought about it that way. So it's not just like another story. We got to know him a little bit on the Mandalorian. That's what makes sense. But going back from the beginning, because the whole thing is like, how did he escape the Sarlacc and the whole thing from back in Return of the Jedi. He was first introduced, I think I remember this now, from the 1978 holiday special. Now, Star Wars, so now I talk about that on this show. You can go back and one of the previous episodes, I talk about the holiday special. So he was introduced on that in 1978, and then, which is an interesting introduction, and then 1980, he was in Return of the Jedi, and here's what's funny. He had 4 lines and 6.5 minutes of screen time. His beaten up go-go gadget armor, menacing movements and line deliveries, and quiet confidence as he did Darth Vader's bidding made him, an icon. I know, folks, I mean, he wasn't one of my characters of that movie, but I knew he was cool, and I knew who he was, of course, and I knew he was an icon. But it's so funny to think about that for a second, that he wasn't even, there's no small parts, people. There's no, make the most, okay, how was it? Viola Davis got nominated for, I think, her first Oscar or second one for 8 minutes or screen time or 10 minutes of screen time in Doubt. Dame Judi Dench won for Shakespeare in Love, playing Queen Elizabeth, for 8 minutes. So I mean, there's no such thing. I always say there's no such thing as small parts. I know that I did a movie, not trying to compare myself to Dame Judi Dench, but I did a movie once where I had a small role and everybody talks about it. You have to make the most, put your all into whatever scenes you're in, and you never know where it may lead you. Because think about it, this character, going by this thing, 4 lines, 6.5 minutes of screen time, now has his own show. He's the lead of his own series. I always say, and because I do a lot of writing, I have a lot of audio dramas here on JLJ Media. I have a lot of spin-offs and one-offs. And my thing is sometimes it's those characters that you don't know much about that aren't on that much or are not the leads. I want to follow them home, so to speak. And I say home in quotes. I want to see what's going on with them. What's their story? So at Boba Fett, we loved him on Mandalorian. We were just like, how'd you show up? And then now I get so we get to actually follow him home and see what's going on with him and follow his story. So I do like that. He made appearances in Attack of the Clones and the Clone Wars, of course, anime series. So he did pop up here and there. Now remember, he has a sister, Omega, who was in the Bad Batch, who Fennec was hired to capture and protect in the Bad Batch. So will she show up sometime? That's the exciting part about this series is that they do crossovers all the time on these shows. So who will cross over? Who will they run into? Mandalorian, we got all kind of people. Ahsoka, who has her own series coming out. It was a lot of fun, but there's who's going to show up? So it's fun also hearing them talk about Jabba the Hutt, and they're on Tatooine and things that one thing I'll say about this series that they do very well in all of them. My eye is irritated. I'm sorry. Is that they really do give you a Star Warsian, this is not even a word, but Star Wars like world. Each series really feels like a Star Wars story. It feels like it's set in a Star Wars universe. It really is. I mean, it really is. So I love that. Now, before anybody says anything, of course, I know Boba Fett has books and things, but they literally have kind of minus those. They call them decanonize them. So they're not really counting those. But yes, I know there are books out. So before anybody says anything to me, I know there are books stuff out with him. There's a 10,000 Star Wars books out that they kind of went, never mind, when they got sold to Lucas and went to Disney Plus. So a lot of those stories are still good. If you like those stories, you should like them. I have a Lando Calrissian story that I like. I love it. They're fun to read. They're by writers who really took the time to do the work about Star Wars. So I'm very excited. Every Wednesday it comes out. In 2022, this series will continue with more stuff. I'm trying to get some people to come on and talk with me their love of Star Wars. I have a couple people in mind already. And I'm very, very excited to continue this journey with you guys in my Star Wars world. I'm also on TikTok. I do some Star Wars stuff over there too, under James Lott Jr. But thank you so much, of course. Also, I'm a Patreon. If I forget to mention this, it's extra bonus content, and some of them will be Star Wars stuff. There's stuff I'll be putting only on that site. It's patreon.com/James Lott Jr. I have 5 tiers, 3 tiers. $5, $10, and $20. You pick one. After 3 months, you get a free gift from me. You're eligible for a free gift. But also, you get content that you just won't see anywhere else. If you're a fan of James Lott Jr., a fan of Star Wars, fan of the universe, I'll be putting stuff on there only. So check it out. Help a friend out. Help one of the people in the village. So thank you. I'm James Lott Jr. Happy New Year to all of you. See you in 2022, and may the force be with you.